maybe I'm gonna disagree on the numbers, but I think it's directionally correct. And what's gonna happen is there is a long tail of software being created in the world, 24/7. The long tail doesn't require a lot of sophistication, and I do believe that very soon it will be replaced predominantly by agent creating that software. At the same time, companies like Google that really push the boundaries of what can be done with software
was able to provide insight as to what they expect the future to look like. And basically, agentic AIs would likely replace a lot of the workflow associated with the average non-technology focused firm that offers software as a service. Think all of your news aggregators and providers, financial services providers, etc. These aren't foundational tech generation, foundational technology developers. They're innovative, but their domain space is just one degree removed from the actual innovation is driving much of the S&P 500, for instance. And so they expect that agentic AI displaces the internal IT dynamics for a lot of these non-tech focused firms. Definitely a shift, a seismic shift that is probably leading to a lot of pauses in hiring and bioinformatics and bio-related technologies, financial services again, and cost-cutting 2026 is also something that Fireworks AI's CEO expects, where basically they do and are in a position to appreciate that there's a lack of technological tooling available, basically less chips, less compute power because of those less chips, and it's more expensive. So definitely something to think about. That was kind of a brief cursory recap. I'll have a slide related to that. But one thing that was very important was the ability for one to build a production level ready with a single prompt, a production ready app. So the prompt to production app workflow is here with the Gemini development that I'm showcasing right here. So let's just run it. One of the use cases that is very important is the ability to find the proper jobs and unemployment rate numbers associated with the economy. It's basically the ability to take the pulse of the U.S. economy, one of the most searched and coveted numbers because of their impact on real-time trading. And so what I did was I prompted the Gemini workflow to have the ability to scrape the specific link, because that's something that a lot of financial news providers aggregate or scrape or analyze in some way with hard-coded tools. And so basically I asked Gemini to create its own hard-coded dashboard for this type of economic metric. And fortunately, it worked with a single shot. The prompt was fairly straightforward. You can see it right here. I can share it in the description of the video. This is accurate. We had a pretty anemic jobs report, and the unemployment rate was just this. So now that it's correctly generated, we can go ahead and deploy. So I'm gonna deploy the app. And if you have already used Google Cloud Console, then you'll have any number of projects available here. I'm going to just go ahead and create this. I've done a lot of related work in terms of deploying apps for social services providers. And so I have this infrastructure already, because a lot of folks are on Google Sheets, nonprofits and people with a limited budget, but with some kind of demand in terms of data preservation and also HIPAA, are obligated to have some type of working agreement with Google. So that's something that should be in everyone's mind. So now we go to this fully functional URL. I'm going to share the URL, and basically it will be something that is live and works across platforms. But yeah, this is basically something that you can serve throughout the internet, is easily accessible, and it is exactly the same data that is in the Bureau of Labor Statistics, but it's curated, has that flashing number evident, not flashing literally, but just really just has it prominently displayed, whereas a table isn't quite as easy to read, right? So yeah, that's the app in a nutshell. I think we can go and view it. And so we can see that, it's being served in its own unique URL. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video.